She's accusing me now of being grift gang, who they have dubbed Caillou, Noodlehead, and all them. Listen. I've said this for years, and again, if you've been around, you know I don't Caillou, Noodlehead, none of those. No, never gonna happen.
Another thing I'm sorry about, going so hard at you while defending an actual flaming sack of hot garbage. You definitely weren't wrong about some people, but it takes seeing them from this side of YouTube to understand who they truly are. Charlie is pure evil. I'll leave it at that.
The enemy of my enemy is not my friend. I have always said that.
Negs, she can swing from a support beam if it'll hold her. Gaining ground. I'd live stream with champagne. Hey, I just sent something to your GoFundMe. I'll send more for sure, but for now, that's what I had on the card. And it's the only card linked to this phone because I'm too scared to link my main account to my FFG phone. LOL. I don't understand technology and I'm scared of everything online. Thank you for your 500 USD donation to taking Negs to court.
Nobody's pulling me into something and blah, blah, blah. There's nothing, and I have no problem with you at all. Don't try to start, and then when you start, you act like the victim. If you don't want the smoke, don't poke.
But you ass don't understand that. Y'all go by the enemy of my enemy is my friend, or I'll be friendly. That's for pussies. But you pussies will be friendly with people as long as they're dragging a person you don't like now. So a lot of y'all trying to tell me what to do and why I'm not speaking on this, it's because you need my help. So start taking notes and do it the way I did it. And there's not a bitch in this corner of YouTube who can tell me how to drag someone, how to help get someone off the platform, or how to debunk lies. Please. A lot of you bitches are weak and did me dirty. And I said nothing. I just sat on it. I just kept sitting on it and just listening. And just kept listening, knowing damn well what the truth was. But what did y'all go with? Oh, well, you're not saying anything. Why do I have to say anything? Because you said so? Most of you bitches are weak. Why would I ever take your advice? Remember that. When you speak on me, I'm not Chantel. I'm a big bitch. I'm a fat bitch. I'm a bitch with a lot of mouth, but I'm not Chantel. I will dog walk any of you bitches. See? I can stay silent. And I can speak when I'm ready. When it comes to, say, me speaking up for myself, I've never needed anyone. I will always appreciate people who support me, but 9 times out of 10, I'm staying silent for a reason. I'm just waiting for people to keep showing their ass. And I appreciate y'all who've been with me through all the bullshit, who's still around, even through my own f-ups, because it's not like I haven't fucked up. But I appreciate the people who've actually just waited to hear what I have to say, or who've actually seen the bullshit for what it is, because it's fucking weird. The people in this corner of YouTube is weird, and let me make something very clear. I will not say all, most. And when I say most, I'm talking about probably 98%. Most of YouTube friendships are fake as fuck. They're friendships of convenience. There's friendships I see that were formed and it's fake as fuck. And when those go down, it's going to be ugly.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Today drained me.
French fried girl. The Foodie beauty reactor who is a liar, a doxer, a manipulator, a coward, and so much more. I have been a creator in this corner of the internet for about 6 years. Through those years, I've learned a lot. I chose to learn to be a bit more patient. I chose to learn to be observant. I needed to be less reactionary. And above all, silent. I want to make this very clear from the beginning. Watch who you want. I watch a wide variety of problematic creators. I'm nosy, so it's one of my favorite forms of entertainment on YouTube. For anyone wondering why I'll be adding FFG to the rotation of creators I will be covering on my channel, it's pretty simple. FFG is a calculated, deranged, and dangerous creator who has spent a lot of her time on YouTube being just about everything she criticized Chantel about. She spent years lying and pushing narratives about me in an effort for me to lose support. I followed the behavior for a while, and then finally, during a back and forth with another reactor, I got to read the words for myself. FFG. December's coming. Charlie's gotta work fast to get rid of me so she can make the coin again this year. LOL. Meh. Yaba and me together is a force greater than Charlie in this community. We're good. Gaining ground. Yeah, it's not gonna work. Still fun to watch them keep trying. FFG. Agreed. I'm gonna do everything in my power to fuck up Charlie's December on YouTube. FFG was comfortable enough to confide in this creator that she would do everything in her power to fuck up my December on YouTube. I'm sure you're wondering, what did I do for FFG to have those feelings? I have no idea. Criticizing another creator is one thing. What FFG sought out to do through the years has been something more, something a bit more deranged, something that was worth observing and documenting. One of my favorite hobbies is collecting receipts, specifically receipts around delusional liars who believe they're untouchable. You know how the saying goes, what's done in the dark always comes to light. FFG likes to do a lot of problematic things in private when she believes no one will see, or on the platform where the smallest percentage of her viewers follow her. Publicly, she often projects, lies, and paints herself in the light of a victim. FFG is no victim. She's an egotistical weirdo who hasn't kept up with her own lies over the years. Some of those lies were in an effort to create a different reality from the pathetic, lonely, and miserable one she was actually living. Above all, a lot of lies were told in an effort to get other creators out of the way. When you're as insecure and angry as someone like FFG, sharing a space may feel like a threat. What do some people do in an effort to eliminate those threats? Well, FFG specifically has a pattern of going the enemy of my enemy is my friend route. What a dumb bitch. Over the last couple of months, I've tried to organize my receipts on FFG. Each one has a point, but it's also been over 2 years of sitting back and collecting those receipts. For this video, I wanted to revisit a few things. For as long as I can remember, FFG has made the claims she's an army of one. The header on her previous Twitter account used to read, "Tell me with who you associate, and I will tell you who you are." While FFG likes to associate and financially support some of the most problematic creators to come across this corner of the internet, that's why the criticism that sparked the ongoing beef between her and Yaba, the YouTube underground, was always confusing to me. Let's revisit some of FFG's live stream from February.
I'm going to be straight with you guys. As you probably know, everybody, what's going on today and what I'm going to be starting off by talking about. I have some shit to say after what was said this morning. I definitely think it's my right to say something. And then we're going to move on to Chantal stuff because that's what we do around here. And we're here for the shits and the gigs. But I'm also here to set the record straight on some things this morning, or some things I should say that were said this morning. I know the community hates a fight. And I feel you guys. Nobody was expecting a fight, but here we are. I'm not going to war. I was in the pre-chat and stuff and seeing a lot of the comments all day today. There's no war. There's no war. If you were looking for a war, it's not over here that you're going to find one. But I do have to say some stuff, okay? Yaba's stream this morning. Yeah. Me and Yaba somehow have been going back and forth now for a few days on Twitter. And Yaba took it to YouTube today. Why are me and Yaba going back and forth for days? Because of the bodega? Because of nothing at all to do with Yaba at all?
To be clear, my intention isn't to support one creator over another, or to support one group of friends over another. It's to highlight the issues FFG claims to have, are behaviors she's engaged in herself, but had the ability for a long time to bury and deflect from.
And Yaba, for no reason at all, jumped in to, I don't know, get on the side of her new friends. These are her new friends. This is AK from her chat. That's Tragic, right? Tragic's a mod for them. They're mods for Tragic. Same thing with AK. Same thing with Alex Glitter. For anybody who doesn't know, by the way, that guy, like I'm saying in that video, Tragic Tragic of the bodega, of course. Her and Sam, like I said, mod for him. He mods for them. And if you haven't been around the community long enough to know, this is the man responsible for that call to Yaba's house in the middle of the night, threatening to kill her children with a brick. That was the man responsible for that call. And that is who are they defending right now and doing all of this for.
Let me expand on that and give you an even more accurate history lesson, not only on Tragic, but the close group of friends he was once in. Years ago, there was a small creator group of friends that mainly criticized reactors in this space. Those friends were Tragic, Negs, and Tequila Titties. Tequila Titties is the nickname for the problematic creator gaining ground. When FFG isn't in his DMs kissing his ass, she normally refers to him by the nickname Caillou. Tragic, Negs, and TT had a falling out. Post friendship breakup, there was always a shift within the dynamic of who was able to remain cordial with one another. As of today, this trio has broken off into their own friendship groups that sling different insults at one another. Two of the three have been in legal battles stemming from online drama. One of them is ongoing, where the trial begins in the next couple of weeks. This group of friends have said and done some of the most disgusting things I've seen in this space. FFG points out how strange it would be for Yaba to be friendly with someone who allegedly made a threatening phone call to her home. But is it really that strange if FFG has done just that and so much more? Would you believe FFG has had DMs leaked with two of the three members of that problematic trio? The two that engaged in this disgusting conversation about her? Gaining ground. I'm not going live. I wouldn't want to let everyone know that I pray she breaks her neck on a daily basis because she has the luxury of calling a mother who regrets giving birth to her but knows who she still is. Whoops. I will never fathom how somebody can say something so disgusting. Keisha/Froggy. She's a psychopath. Not even joking. Gothic glitter. Because she's a vile piece of shit. Gaining ground. I'm telling you right now, if I ever get unfortunate news about her, I'm going live and popping champagne. All super chats will be donated to the Alzheimer's Association. Negs. She can swing from a support beam, if it'll hold her. Gaining ground. I'd live stream with champagne. There was a point where FFG actually cried on a live stream, claiming she was scared to walk her dogs due to the vile things that were being slung at her by Negs. What did she eventually do following that emotional performance she put on for her viewers? End up in Negs' DMs to share docs info on a former friend. Docs info FFG claimed was already out there. I guess FFG wanted to make sure he got the right info to do whatever needed to be done. Don't try to figure that bitch out. You'll drive yourself crazy trying. Froggy lives in a fucking dream world where nothing makes sense and she thinks she can talk her way out of all the shit she creates. Not this time. She's already living her karma. Let the universe sort that cunt out. When's your next stream? I'd like to become a member, come in and chat it up with your people just to piss off the toad. Fantastic. I'll be silently watching until the moment I'm not silent anymore. Oh, and don't worry, I'm not coming in to start any shit with your people. I'm coming in for one reason only. Indeed. Unblock me on YouTube so I can join your friggin' nation. And burn my ex-bestie nice. That depends. Do you plan on airing her ass out? If yes, I'd fucking lay into her bitch ass in the chat while she tries to spin her lies and bullshit. If not, I'd just wait for her to start with one of her made up claims and pounce on that shit. Either way, fun for me. First option would be more fun though, to be honest. KK, your choice. Could you maybe clarify to your people that I had nothing to do with that? Since your tweet this morning, I've been fucking inundated with bullshit messages all day. Have you heard from Froggy? Yeah, I saw. That's why I sent the super chat. Her stepfather is blank. Her brother and sister are blank and blank. She is the only blank. I mean, Blank might have adopted her when he married her mother. I have no idea. She's her mother's. An accidental pregnancy, that's why she doesn't know her real dad. Her mom comes from big money, Connecticut Jew money. But Froggy lives like a bum. They obviously don't support her or her shit. Did you know Froggy is a Jew? She tries to hide that and denies the shit out of it. Grandmother is a Blank. Possible relation to Blank would explain a lot. Those messages were about a former friend of hers. FFG sent that to a man who once wished death on her and celebrated that thought with another creator. The creator she calls Caillou. The creator FFG would later go on to send $500. What was the $500 for? To help support Gaining Ground in his efforts of taking Negs to court. I would fuck Dee Dee and SGM at the same time while allowing them to do lines off of my forehead before I ever became desperate enough to cozy up to the likes of Negs or Gaining Ground. So remember that DM I read to you earlier? The one where FFG's ego had her thinking she can somehow stop me from making money on this platform? Guess who I got it from? Gaining Ground. Was it directly sent to me? Absolutely not. I just decided to screen record and take screenshots of an ongoing back and forth they had last year. I made sure not to touch a tweet or reply to anything, especially since part of their back and forth became about me. Imagine publicly arguing about who was more deranged and obsessed with their hate for me. A hate that seemed to bring them together. Frenchie is a manipulative sow who will say and do anything to protect her foodie beauty cash flow. Hey FFG, why don't you discuss this message on one of your live streams? Maybe afterwards you can go over your intense, borderline psychotic hatred for Charlie Gold. I want you to know that everyone's eyes are opening up to what happened and what's going on. Can't believe the hypocrisy from people going for Yaba and you. Fucking sickening. Like, I think we were wrong about Gigi. He's a messy bitch, but he's not a monster. Kinda wanna apologize to him when I come back for being such a dick. Good online friend of mine hasn't been around for a while and still sees that we were wrong. Tequila Titties goes on to reply in the comments that the messages FFG sent about me would be next. Gaining Ground's tweet response, she keeps running her mouth. I just posted on my community tab. She keeps doing Yaba and Sam's bidding, and the Charlie messages come out next. I'm tired of her malicious ways. I don't care how big her brain dead audience is. As I'm following this in real time, it was the community tab post that made me realize there was actually more to this. There was no way Gaining Ground would have been able to predict something very specific I spoke to FFG about. FFG's insecure, pussy ass was running her mouth in DMs with Gaining Ground and thought it would never get out. FFG is the exact type of person you should pay attention to when they get comfortable. Lying about me in front of your audience again, Frenchie? Weird because you still haven't addressed the anti Semitic video that Yaba and Sam's new besties made about you. You know the video, right? It was a video of you with the propaganda slash music playing. Sam was in chat with a wrench and said nothing about it. Very disturbing, and yet you said nothing. You were about to, but then you mysteriously dropped it and turned your sights on me and others. Gee, I wonder why that is. I've linked it below in case anyone wants to see it for themselves. You're a manipulative snake, FFG. How about instead of lying about me and your mama being addicts, in order to protect you and the other Foodie Beauty reactors in your inner circle, you talk about your intense and borderline psychotic hatred for Charlie Gold. You remember, right? Charlie Gold told you that she was able to buy a car or something. I'll need to go and look at the DMs with her December AdSense, and you called BS, and you made it your goal to make sure she'd never make another dime on YouTube ever again. People say I was obsessed and hated that woman. Compared to you, I was a saint. You're a totally different person behind the scenes, as shown in one of the many messages you sent me below. I guess I'm no longer a vibe, eh? You have the girl gang fooled, but sooner or later their eyes will open up and they'll realize all their intense hatred of Chantel blinded them to the fact that you are a malicious liar and a doxer, and 100 times worse than Foodie's ever been. Get bent, FFG. The Gaining Ground. Later on that afternoon, Gaining Ground went on to post the initial apology FFG sent him. She made sure to finish it off by mentioning how evil I was. French Frat Girl was sorry until Yaba needed backup, and then it was right back to lying about me to her audience. So what made Charlie Gold evil, Frenchie? Why were you always bringing her up and saying stuff like this? What was your end goal? Do tell. Another thing I'm sorry about, going so hard at you while defending an actual flaming sack of hot garbage. You definitely weren't wrong about some people, but it takes seeing them from this side of YouTube to understand who they truly are. Charlie is pure evil. I'll leave it at that. What makes me so evil, exactly? I think if I've done something so evil, that will help explain the years of behind the scenes work she's been doing to paint me in a negative light. FFG should say what it is. Personally, I'd love to know as well. If you've been following Gaining Ground's behavior over the years, when he gets going, there's no stopping. He was going to get his message out on every platform available to him. FFG was sorry until Yaba needed backup, and then it was right back to lying about me and defaming me to her audience. I thought we were on civil ground, and then all of a sudden she started up with me again, out of the blue. I'm sure it had nothing to do with the bodega adjacent friend, the YouTube Underground, needing backup and reminding her that being civil with me isn't as profitable as bashing Chantel and calling her mother a teenage whore, etc. Frenchie is a fraud. She tells people what she thinks they want/need to hear to keep them off her back and to keep that easy foodie beauty money coming in. You know, kind of like she did with a viewer when she told them that I just didn't care about them the way she cares about them. Who the fuck does that to vulnerable audience members? She's a cult leader, plain and simple. FOG is so sick and manipulative and will use and abuse anyone just to make a Canadian dollar. I can't believe people in girl world still believe that Foodie Beauty is the devil, with people like Frenchie running around constantly getting caught up in her own lies when she isn't manipulating everyone around her. So what made Charlie Gold evil, Frenchie? Why were you always bringing her up and saying stuff like this? What was your end goal? You'd legit message me out of the blue to bash Charlie when no one was even talking about her. Why? You weren't trying to keep the beef going for your own selfish reasons, were you? Do tell. FFG's response didn't help her in any way. All Clifford, why don't you put out those court records you sent me instead of passing them around hoping someone else will do it? You scared to show everyone you're still as obsessed with Charlie as ever? Ha 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 ha. What is it now, 6 years? Get a life, Clitty, you massive pussy. If Gaining Ground was passing around my court records in hopes of someone using them against me, he clearly knew what he was doing when he slid them over to FFG. Because she did just that as a response for me questioning her about BBJ. Chantel was neglecting BBJ, that's a fact. If FFG has BBJ, at least regular vet visits are now being provided. Whether FFG has BBJ or not, that's for her to answer. If she does, why lie? The sister-in-law story clearly has holes in it. I have those receipts. My issue with FFG has always stemmed from her constant lies. Very unnecessary lies at that. It's pretty simple. FFG, do you have BBJ? The meow in your most recent live stream sounded like a cat, not your dog. Maybe viewers heard wrong. I'm holding off on my opinions about FFG's smoking and her increased anger, for now, since we don't know for sure where BBJ is. FFG started her response to me with Attic Associate, a lie she had pushed for years in hopes to paint me in a bad light. For those who don't know, Negs calls his following the Attic. I have never spoken to that man or even had a nice word to say about that man. Due to FFG's projection and ability to hide her disgusting behavior, she continued to project her pussy ass behavior onto me, even though she never once showed a sliver of proof behind those claims. Now, onto FFG's response to my tweet. Attic associate. I don't have the cat, don't want a cat, but have zero regrets about rescuing her or paying for her care. As I've said multiple times lately, I'm not always streaming from home as I've got some heavy shit going on in my life right now. It's nobody's business. Y'all are batshit crazy talking about Amy Flower receipts. Amy Flowers doesn't exist, for fuck's sakes. Also something I've said before. How brain dead are some of you? For real, you're embarrassing yourself. Okay, bye. Back to looking up some new court records. Two things. Amy Flowers doesn't exist? Well, that is not the story FFG pushed to viewers.
Am I keeping BBJ like in my home? No, I'm not a cat person. I have a dog. It's just not my thing. But BBJ is in the familia now. As Chantal told everybody, it was a Beezer who got BBJ, who worked on her for BBJ. A Beezer? Maybe. A double agent? Somewhat. My sister-in-law? Abso-fucking-lutely.
We will definitely be revisiting that soon. The lies about Amy Flowers is probably the reason Amy had to lock down her Twitter account. Thankfully, I was pulling receipts before she did that. Secondly, how was court records a response to my tweet? Court records that were sent to her by Tequila Titties? FFG thought that info was going to silence me? No. That response proved I needed to pay closer attention to her online behavior. To be clear, FFG was referring to an eviction. The same FFG who openly talked about her 8 evictions when someone dug that info up on her thought this was a dunk on me. It's interesting to see what some people say when their hate overpowers any critical thinking. FFG thought buddying up with creators who disliked me would help in her never-ending goal of planting different negative seeds about me. Ironically, it did the opposite. It exposed more of what I've been saying for so long. All I had to do is watch it all play out while pretending I didn't see a thing. I continued to tweet about Chantel and Anne Boleyn while collecting receipts as she fell out with more and more creators. This has fuck all to do with Chantel or content of any kind. This is about a lunatic who played victim so well that Callie's definitely just as guilty in my mind, gassed up thousands of people to hate on you while she doxed you. God damn, how were we all so stupid? Hi. Not only did I not dox Gaining Ground, I had no part in his doxing. FFG used to criticize Tequila Titties for that lie, until she needed him as an ally. There goes that projection again. FFG's history of doxing over the years will have its own standalone video. Tequila Titties went on to respond with more DMs. FFG. December's coming. Charlie's gotta work fast to get rid of me so she can make the coin again this year. LOL. Meh. Yaba and me together is a force greater than Charlie in this community. We're good. Gaining Ground. Yeah, it's not gonna work. Still fun to watch them keep trying. FFG. Agreed. I'm gonna do everything in my power to fuck up Charlie's December on YouTube. Let's unpack this. FFG was under the impression I needed her out of the way to make money online? Where would she ever begin to get that idea? The same FFG that has been chipping away at different reactors in an attempt to be seen in a better light than them thought I wanted to get rid of her? Interesting. Her projection should really be studied. FFG said she'd do anything in her power to make sure she fucked up my December. I hope she stands by that, because I plan to stand by making a lot of monetized content about her. I'd like to remind everyone I did nothing to that deranged weirdo. Gaining Ground wrote, "This shit never fucking ends, does it? How's the new Pip? Or pup?" Shaking my head. Frenchie wrote, "This is what, year 3 of her and her fucking simps coming for you? This bitch is so pathetic. Doesn't say a fucking word about her friends Negs in DC, but we're gonna act like everybody didn't already know. You were discounted life? Okay. I'm the biggest reason Negs is no longer on the platform. What else was there for me to say? The same Negs whose she was once sucking in DMs. DC and I parted ways, and I kept it pushing. Imagine being pathetic enough, being in DMs, chopping it up with the person you knew was behind the discounted life account. FFG and many others knew. Yes, none of that matters though when it's best to look past problematic behavior in an effort to align with someone who is going against a shared enemy. FFG likes to criticize people who donate to Chantel, an animal abuser, unless it's her. I wonder why FFG wasn't loud and proud when she donated to a known bigot like Gaining Ground. Hey, I just sent something to your GoFundMe. I'll send more for sure, but for now, that's what I had on the card. And it's the only card linked to this phone because I'm too scared to link my main account to my FFG phone. LOL. I don't understand technology and I'm scared of everything online. Thank you for your 500 USD donation to Taking Negs to Court. Let me spell it out. All bigotry is horrible and should be called out. FFG is upset with Yaba being friendly with Tragic because she had nothing to gain from that. Based on FFG's past behavior, someone being anti Semitic can be overlooked as long as there's something for her to gain. I am in no support of any of the problematic trio. I guess the question I would love an answer to is why does FFG feel she's the only one who can peacefully align with bigots for her own benefit, all while projecting that behavior onto me and others? While editing, I was able to find this other little nugget. This tweet was FFG's response to someone pointing out her hypocrisy when it comes to Negs. What did she decide to do? Deflect, lie, and insert me into the disgusting shit her and Froggy were up to. I had only been friendly with Froggy for a short period of time. We never spoke outside of the group Discord that eventually got nuked. This is an example of messages exchanged between French fried pussy and Froggy. Froggy, you and me are good. You my internet bestie. He's a fucking cockroach. FFG, I'm glad. Yes, that's why I'm fucking with his head. You know, blank. Froggy, do what you need to do. Just understand that I don't play with that shit, so let me be. Yeah, FFG, she's helping me with all of this. It's so funny. I wish you could see our conversations. Froggy, oh Lord. FFG, we're like two evil geniuses. Froggy, well, good luck and God bless. Frenchie, this is literally just my payback. The results are gonna be great. Froggy, I'll be watching with my popcorn ready to laugh and gloat at his deadbeat ass. So please explain to me why FFG added the lie, Charlie's good friend, to that. That's easy. For whatever reason, she chose me to be the target and scapegoat for a lot of her problematic behavior that she would get caught in. I find that so unnecessary and weird. For a long time, many viewers and creators have asked, what would these reactors focus on if Chantel and Amberlynn didn't continue to be the mess that they've been all these years? I can't speak for anyone else, but Chantel's ugly ass twin showed her ass for years, while many people looked away. There's been a huge effort to discredit me over the years. It taught me to document better and be patient. I plan to cover a lot of FFG's behavior over the years. The lies, the manipulation, the threats, the blackmail. Last thing, to the people struggling to cope and saying I will be covering French Fry Girl due to my jealousy of her success, please be so for real. The blueprint to FFG's success is inserting herself into Chantel's life as much as possible, while simultaneously attempting to destroy the reputation of any creator she sees as a threat. There is nothing to be jealous of. That sounds exhausting. It was low-key exhausting to follow. Thank God I'll be getting paid for my hard work. FFG is a fake, pathological liar that will do anything to make sure she financially benefits the most from this corner of the internet. I'm simply making content out of her actions.
Don't fucking try to start shit. And then when you start shit, you act like the victim. If you don't want the fucking smoke, don't fucking poke. Lying and trying to use that as an excuse for all of this is a joke. What the fuck are you even talking? Do you know what you're talking about at this point? Make it make sense.
I'm working on some cameos and I just want to let you guys know I have had that open again. So the link is down below.
What the hell does she have merch for anyway? What the f do these friggin' reaction channels have merch for, some of them?
All the stars are close.